We just had the European Council meeting and we are united once again. First on Ukraine, we had the occasion, like always, to listen to the message sent by Vladimir Zelensky. 2 points are extremely important. First point, we don't need so much words, we need more military equipment. They need more military equipment, and we had a very good discussion, and we understand that the member states, especially those who have some capacity, some capabilities, they understand that it's very important to provide more air defense systems, more ammunition, and we had a very serious debate on this topic. The second point on Ukraine I would like to insist on is a just peace formula. You know that there is this announcement that in June there will be this meeting that is supposed to take place in Switzerland. This is something which is good, and we want to engage with the international community, with all the countries across the world, especially the Global South, and we intend to coordinate from a political point of view so that the EU, together with other partners across the world, we can participate in that meeting that is supposed to take place in Switzerland. This is the first point on Ukraine. We are extremely determined to support Ukraine. We do not underestimate the challenges on the ground for the Ukrainians, and we know that we have the responsibility to act. I would like also to insist that Vladimir Zelensky asked us to do our best to try to convince the United States to provide more support, including the financial support that the Ukrainians are waiting for. This one first important topic. The second topic we had the occasion to discuss, and we made again united decisions. This is Turkey. You know that we wanted to have this strategic debate. We are united. Point one. In a nutshell, I would say that we would like to engage with Turkey in a positive way. We would like to develop stable relationships with this country, and we would like to work based on a phased, proportionate and reversible approach. And I would like to insist that the situation of Cyprus is extremely important. We have a special attention for the situation of Cyprus, especially the UN settlement process. And you will see our conclusions on Turkey. And finally, the Middle East, we had an in-depth debate one more time. We agreed on a common position. And what are the main points? First, we condemn this attack launched by Iran against Israel. We have decided to put in place sanctions against Iran. This is a clear signal that we want to send. And we also want to do everything to protect the civilians. Each civilian life matters. We call on the release without any conditions of all hostages. We call on a ceasefire, an immediate ceasefire, and we want the humanitarian access for the people in need in Gaza. And we support the two-state solution. We had a good debate, and we feel it's very important to do everything to isolate Iran, to engage with the countries in the region so that we can try to support a peace process, to support peace talks. We support the security of Israel, there is no doubt, and we are absolutely convinced that this is extremely important to engage a lot with the countries in the region to avoid more escalation, more regional escalation, and this is already the case, and we need to stop this regional escalation. And finally, one very important word on Lebanon. We had an in-depth discussion on Lebanon. You know all the challenges and the difficulties in this country. They have a lot of Syrian refugees in Lebanon, and we all understand it's our responsibility to engage with this country, with the authorities in the country, so that we can see how we can support the country, including the Lebanese armed forces, which have an important role to play. Voilà. In a nutshell, these were the main topics we have seen. International topics on the agenda, difficult questions, and once again we are showing that we are united and that we try to do our best to have more influence to defend our interests on the international scene.
What kind of sanctions against Iran?
The idea is to target the components that are needed for the drones, for the missiles. This is the global idea, and you will have more information through the decision that will be put in place by the Council.
Did you give a timeline to President Zelensky about better support, air defence and so on?
Yeah, this is not a question of months, it's a question of days and weeks. It is very important that we deliver on our promises, and I can reassure you that all the stakeholders, all the actors, they are doing everything which is possible to speed up, to make more efforts. You know that in a very short period of time we have increased our defense capabilities in terms of manufacturing, production and manufacturing capacities, but this is not enough. We need to do more, point one, and we are also looking if it's possible also to use more the stocks that are available, especially in the field of the air defense systems.
Did you discuss the reaction of Israel to the Iranian attacks and what this could bring to the situation?
You know, this kind of debate, we have the conclusions on the one hand, but there is also what I'm calling the collective intelligence, and the fact we can think together and we can try to identify what is the best tools we can use. On the one hand, to support Israel, the people of Israel and their security and the right for Israel to exist, point one. On the other hand, to make sure that we avoid any further regional escalation. And we had a good debate on that. And we think that we need to be very active at the diplomatic level and to engage a lot with the countries in the region. Because the countries in the region, they know that Iran is a threat, not only for Israel, it's a threat for the stability in that region. And it's very clear when we have seen that Iran has decided to launch this attack a few days ago against Israel. That's why this engagement with the countries in the region is fundamental, and we need to isolate Iran. We put in place sanctions against Iran, and we work closely with our partners. And it's very consistent with the meeting we had a few days ago. It was on Sunday, the G7 virtual meeting, and this European Council is very consistent with what we have decided to express a few days ago together with our G7 partners. And indeed, the President of Cyprus had the occasion to share with us his thoughts about the current situation, but not only him, also other leaders, Giorgia Meloni, for instance, and many other leaders. They made an assessment, and that's why we agreed on this text that probably you have seen on Liban, and it's clearly in line and consistent with what we have tried to do with the European Council in recent years. We try to engage with third countries to develop broad partnerships, including on migration, but it's broader than on migration, but including on one last question maybe?
On Russian interference.
Yeah, very important point. We had a very good debate in presence of the President of the European Parliament on this topic, because we can see that this is a challenge not only for the Council or for the Member States, it's a challenge for all the democratic institutions. And the idea is the following. We would like to reinforce the monitoring. We need to be much more vigilant, and we need to cooperate much more. I think that we need to bring together the tools we have, the European institutions on the one hand, but also the national authorities on the other hand. And this is a clear signal that we are not naive. We want to be lucid, and we would like to try to be much more effective in that field.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.